Alrighty, Rooney, let's do this. So, Unit 3 in this particular publication, Interest in Estates, the Snapshot Review. Let's go through this, and this is sort of the final, the final sort of segment of this unit. We just talked about interests in estates in land. That was the main topic. And we determined that an interest was any combination of the bundle of legal rights, those 5 items. And an estate, encumbrances, and policing powers are the different types. And with estates, those are possessory interests, and encumbrances and policing power are non-possessory interests. Okay? Excuse me. And the estates and land include the rights of possession, like I just mentioned, are also called tenancies. There's a leasehold, which is of limited duration, and then there's a freehold estate, which is duration is not necessarily limited. Okay, so those are the estates. The big one was the freehold estate. It implies ownership in contrast to the leasehold. The subcategory was fee simple estates, also known as just simply fee, the most common form of estate in the United States, not limited by one's lifetime. Fee simple absolute is the highest form of ownership interest, definitely know that. And a fee simple defeasible interest can revert to previous owners for some kind of a violation of some sort of condition. Another way of saying that, by the way, is a deed restriction. So they sometimes call these CC&Rs, or deed restrictions. I'm just going to put a note here. And I'll write a little phrase here. CC&R stands for covenants covenants, conditions, and restrictions. So these are deed restrictions. If we violate some sort of covenant or condition or restriction, that would be a fee simple defeasible estate. Then we looked at life estates, which are measured by the life of somebody. Life estates, fee estates pass to another person, upon death of the named party. There's a remainder interest of the named party to receive the estate after the holder's death. And there's a reversionary interest, which is an interest of previous owner to receive the estate after the holder's death. All right, so it's one party versus the original party. There was a conventional life estate. With those, full ownership interest limited to the lifetime of the tenant or another named party, created by agreements between the parties. An ordinary conventional life estate is on the death of the life tenant. It passes to the remainder person or the previous owner, reversion or remainder. And then there was a per autre v, which means for another life, high probability, on the death of another party that we name as per autre v, passes to the remainder man or previous owner. And look back to those examples in the text and you'll see what I was talking about there. Legal life estates are automatic creations of estates through the operation of law designed to protect family survivors. We have homestead, we have dower and curtsy, and we have an elective share. Homestead rights to one's principal residence. Laws protect the homestead from certain creditors. Dower and curtsy rights were life estate interests of the widow or the widower in the real property. And the elective share rights, those have pretty much replaced, in a lot of states, the dower and curtsy, are the rights to claim the deceased spouse's property in lieu of will. Then we wrapped up this unit by talking about leasehold estates, which were non-ownership possessory estates of limited duration. We had the estate for the years, which had a specific stated duration per lease, a beginning and an end definitively. We had an estate from period to period where the lease term renews automatically upon acceptance of the monthly or periodic rent. A month-to-month tenancy classically is a periodic or period-to-period tenancy. An estate at will is a tenancy for an indefinite period subject to rent payments, cancelable with notice. And an estate at sufferance is the tenancy is created against the landlord's will and without an agreement. And those were your different estates in land. Again, the main two categories was freehold and leasehold. And then we looked at all of those subcategories and they branched off from there. So hopefully that makes somewhat clear. I would go back and review this. I would take a peek at the PowerPoints, go along and check off the PowerPoints while we're going through each chapter and detailing it. Look at your notes. Then look at those examples, practice the entrance questions and exit questions, and work through the material so that you should be good to go as you're getting through this. And trust me when I say you go about this a few times and it'll start to make some clear sense to you, okay? So good luck with this, and I'll see you in the next mod.